I'd like to talk today about the deadly sin, envy. I've been doing my research because, so many of us have talked about, I've confessed whatever sins I've done, but we don't have too many to confess. And yet I know we sin daily. I know I sin daily, and I'm not confessing tons of sins because I no longer commit the big ones. And so the Lord has had me searching my soul, which is what's caused me to do this series on the deadly sins and their counterparts, the virtues. And so today I'd like to talk about envy, because envy is deadly. The Bible says that envy can lead to the worst crimes. And, the Bible says through the devil's envy, death entered the world. That's kind of huge. So the devil envied what Adam and Eve had, and he's like, you surely can have this, and he wanted to destroy them and take that away from them. So that's one of the aspects of envy. Envy is desiring the goods that someone else has. I want what you have. It's also the flip side, is kind of enjoying their suffering. So I want what you have when it's good, but I'm kind of okay when you suffer. An example that comes to mind is someone I have worked with who has a great envy of her neighbor's quantity of children. This particular person has 7 children of her own and wants more, and gets angry at her husband for not providing them for her, for not being fertile enough for her. And so she looks at other people who have 10 and 11 children, and an anger comes up in her. And again, the anger is not at the other person, it's at her spouse, but it is an envy towards what another person possesses. The kind of flip side of that, as I said, would be if that person is actually angry that someone else is pregnant with child number 9, 10, or 11, and then they find out that that person miscarries. Envy is also that kind of, and I'm sure I'm going to hope this isn't obvious or open for most people, but maybe subconscious, that there's a kind of joy that someone else doesn't get child number 8, 9, 10, because I'm struggling. So they're kind of okay with that suffering. Envy is deadly, as you can see, because our focus is on what other people have, or what I have, and I don't want you to have. I think about one of the times I confessed envy, and I've had to confess it a couple times because I used to have a very pretty singing voice, and through this situation that's taken place, my voice is broken, and it's so hard because I've gone decades singing weddings and funerals and competing and having people tell me, oh, you sound beautiful. One nun told me, voice of an angel. So when it broke, I feel such a loss. It's one of the greatest gifts that I had, and I loved it. I never was sad when anyone else had it. But there is this particular young, beautiful daughter. I'll tell you, this Matt and Savannah, it's a father-daughter team. And Savannah sounds like an angel. And her father and she have perfect blend together. And when I listen to them, I cry because I can no longer sing. Not that I ever sang as magnificently as they do. But I got envy as I recognized my tears. So I had to go to confession and tell the Lord, I'm so sorry that I envied what they had, because it's a gift God gave others that I didn't have. And remember, our God gives us all different gifts. He might give someone 10 coins, another one 5, another one 1. But envy is wanting what they have. Think about King David. He had everything, and he envied Uriah's wife, such that he stole her and said, I want that one. I have thousands, but I want that one. And he took her. We can recognize envy in our attachment to possessions. And as I studied, the opposite virtue of envy is brotherly love, or charity, right? Love. Love. It casts out all evil. True love is based on a perfect detachment. I'm not only detached, I don't need anything in the world, that even if I only have 1 coin or 1 talent, and I see someone that has 10, perfect love is being so happy for that other person, for that 10th. That is, oh my gosh, I'm infertile. So let me give you an example. I'm infertile, and envy would be, I'm so angry because I've met these kind of people, not kind of people, it sounds very bad, these hurting people. Why is so-and-so pregnant? She's got enough kids, she doesn't even take care of them. I could take care of a child, my arms are so empty, I could love them, give them so much, and I can't even have one. So that's envy. I want what they have. But if you flip that around, the same spouse, the same infertile person looks at the pregnancy and has perfect love. I'm so happy for you. You have such a beautiful gift from God. Perfect love. I can't sing. I'm tone deaf. But you sound so good. I'm so happy for you with the true happiness that you have that gift. Now we're all human, and I know that's very hard to have because, geez, jealousy, envy, they sneak up because we do hurt, especially if it's something that we want. But let's consider that God takes those things from us or doesn't give us those things just so that we can learn perfect charity. We can learn perfect love. We can learn, Lord, I want to detach from everything. If I get too attached to my children, maybe I'll be estranged from one. If I get too attached to my grandchildren, maybe the Lord will say, no, take one away. Separate me. Move me. I want us to recognize in ourselves any strand of envy we may have and cast it out. Because every time we have envy, we are doing the devil's work. We are getting angry like Abel was jealous. He was envious. He was envious Cain was envious of Abel because God loved his offering and didn't love Cain's. Great envy. And that brought death. But could you imagine if Cain had looked at Abel's sacrifice? Abel, the smoke went up and God loved what he did. And even though Cain's didn't, if Cain said, I'm so happy for you, brother. God really blessed you. That would have been perfect love. But alas, we are humans and our love will never be perfect until we go to heaven. What have you been envious of? Who have you envied? What gifts or talents that others have had have you envied? Have you envied their possessions? Have you envied their spouse? If I had a husband like hers, my marriage would be so much better. They look so awesome together. Because as soon as I start envying, even the super couples that I interview, if I envy those great marriages, Satan's getting in me. But instead, when I say, I'm so happy God gave you the marriage of your dreams, it doesn't make me turn on my own marriage. But just thank God for what I have. Work to have a love like theirs. I would think there are ways that we are envious that we're not even paying attention to. So scoop it out, search it, search your soul, and get into the confessional and tell the Lord you're sorry for anything you've been envious of, any person you've been envious of, and ask the Lord, how can I have perfect love instead? He'll answer that prayer because he wants you to love like he does. When in doubt, look at your neighbor. Think about how you can wish well on them. And more so, perfect love, check out your enemy. How can you love them better? And when something bad happens to your enemy, are you happy? Do you like their suffering? Because even though they're your enemy, envy is rejoicing in even a small way in their suffering. And I don't think any of us should do that. Let me know your thoughts. I'm Dr. Christine Bacon. Thanks for watching this informational Bacon Bit. And as always, remember to live your life sunny side up.